Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Today is the 22nd of May 2021. It's a Saturday afternoon, day before Pentecost, which is a two-day holiday here. We're continuing diamond painting our lovely flowers in the basket, and we are going to open up a section here. I thought that was cut, but it isn't, so we're going to cut it. Welcome, how are you feeling today? How are you all doing? I hope you are all fine. Looking forward to the good weather. Hopefully we're going to have. Actually, I'm looking forward to summer. I am so ready for good weather. Especially if what they say is going to come true and they're going to lift the mask restrictions. That means we will not have to wear a mask outside while the rest of the details of what restrictions will be lifted beginning Monday or Tuesday will be given later on. They are waiting for the final result of the weekend poke in the arm, whether we will reach the required number to lift a majority of the restrictions, which is high time according to everybody. I'm sure you feel the same way. I do believe if you fold back the Scotch tape, then you don't have to search to find the end of it, yeah. But I didn't do that. Well, it looks like, I told you there's a store here in Hungary with diamond painting. Well, it looks like they finally got their act together. They have increased their inventory, and what I have seen today on their website is a sealer for the diamond painting, so I don't have to order it from Amazon or from the US, and wait 3-4 months, 5-6, whatever, to get here, which I think is a good idea. So I'm definitely going to try that out. And we're going to try it out together, actually. I will wait until they stock up their inventory and then order it. Okay. Let me see what we have here, folks. We have a whole bunch of white. Well, at least that we can see. Let's be happy for small miracles. Yes, I thought so. Once we get out of this black zone, well, it looks like we're going to make a little headway with some multiplacing, and that'd be good, because we can use a little getting ahead. Hopefully you can see. Let me know if you can't. So let me know in the comment section, what are you working on? Are you diamond painting along with me, or just listening to me having a nervous breakdown? Both are just fine, Sit back, relax. I am perfectly able to get a nervous breakdown by myself. I really don't need help in that. Yeah. White background. I don't see that white background on the thumbnail. But like I told you, we go along, we do what it says to do. And then we will see, actually I usually see what's going on when I step back. I can see the what I'm doing better, because when you're this close, you don't really get the whole effect of the picture. I'm sure you know that. Today I made flatbread, and for the first time it turned out good. Now, what I didn't do before, I didn't use yeast. So I used the recipe I found online from Mediterranean, and you can also use this recipe to make pizza. So you can use this recipe for the pizza dough. It's nice and tender. Usually my bread comes out rather hard, like if you throw it at somebody, they might get serious then, Yeah, I won't go into that. But this was nice, tender. Um, I used all milk. I didn't use half milk and half water. I used all milk and I used whole milk because we get milk out of the square cow. My husband calls it a square cow. It's one of those dispensers where you take your own flask and you fill it up with how much milk you want. Actually, he fills it up with how much change he has because the machine only takes change. Now, I never have change. Never. When my kids were little, they always had the change. Now hubby has the change, and pretty soon Levante is going to be standing in line for the change. And you have to put in one of those coins to get a shopping cart when you go to the supermarket. I never have 100 foreign coin. Actually, they said you can get this little thingamajigger and use it instead of the coin. You're supposed to go to one of the gas stations and buy it there, which I do think is a good idea. So it's a long weekend. We might take a walk down. The gas station is toward the health spa, which will open in June. Oh, I'm so happy. I think everybody is very happy to finally have our swimming establishment open and exercise and sauna and dentists and hairdresser, everything. It's a wellness center. It's a natural hot spring spa. I think, if I remember correctly, the water comes up at 70 degrees centigrade, and then they mix it with cold water to get the proper temperature prescribed by the doctor. If I remember correctly, it was about 30 degrees, which is hot. Now let me tell you, when it's snowing and you're sitting outside in the snow and you're sitting in this hot spring pool, you got a winter hat on your head and you're in a bathing suit, and the steam is coming up from the pool, and there are trees and snow all around. It's fantastic, folks. I didn't understand what it's all about until I first tried it, and then that's it. And it does help relieve, let's put it that way, the pain. There are different conditions for different springs are used for. It depends on the minerals present and to what percentage are they present. And different hot springs are prescribed for different ailments. When I first heard that, I was like, you gotta be kidding. The doctor gives me a prescription to go and sit in a hot spring pool? Yep. And it's for free. Because if you have health care, in Hungary, you're entitled to take advantage of the natural healing processes. And let's face it, I would rather sit in a hot spring for a couple of hours than to take extra doses of medicine. And this is just about what we are talking about, because we are able to move and exercise in the water, which I am not able to do on dry land. And this is how I improved my stamina as far as being able to walk, with my Nordic sticks. If you know what those are, the Nordic X training. I can do 3-4 kilometers, which I was not able to do before. The doctor usually prescribes a 3-week cure. In order for it to be effective, you should go for 3 weeks. Sometimes he will prescribe every day. Short intervals, you cannot sit in the water for hours because it is strong. Doctors will prescribe like 15 minutes, take half-hour rest, and then again 15 minutes. That's how it works. So at first, I was looking for the next benches that I can crash on. Now I am able to do the 3 kilometers. I don't know how many miles that is, but I am able to do it now, which is a great improvement, without having to have a sit down. And yes, the Nordic sticks helps you, that you straighten up. I used to be, a little bit hunched over like most of us that have back pain. And it helps you to straighten out your spine. A couple of times I have to stop while I'm walking, like, come on girl, get your bones in order. You're looking like a question mark, So straighten up, take a deep breath, straighten out the sticks, and let's go. I usually put on an upbeat music, plug it in my ears, put on my sunglasses, and off I go. I'm in a world of my own. And really, before you know it, you have done. You have accomplished the distance that you set out for yourself. Oh, yeah, little by little. Little by little. First walk to the next bench. Okay, made it that far. Okay, take a breather, go to the next bench. And then let's skip a bench. Yep, this is how I did it. Took me 2 years to get back to being able to do, let's say, a hike. Yeah. But even when I go to the 3-kilometer walk, I do it at my own pace. The main thing is that you're moving. That is the bottom line. Keep moving if possible. Just keep doing it little by little. I didn't think it was going to work either, but it did. You know, the first time I saw ladies, I was at Schielfolk, next to Lake Balaton. That's where I was born. And I saw these ladies walking with a Nordic walking stick, and I'm like, well, that's cute. They have little bouncy, bouncy balls on a stick, and to be able to be seen in the dark and decorated. And they have cute little running shoes on. I don't know why they have running shoes on. They're walking, they're not running. And I'm like, well, they're certainly moving a lot better than I am. So I got brave. And I went up to one of the ladies and I asked, does this really work? What is this called? And she told me. And I asked, where can I get one of those contraptions? And she goes, well, go to the sports center. I go, sports center? I can hardly crawl. You want me to go to the sport? No, she goes, it's a store. I go, okay, I'm good with stores. So I went in there and I said, well, I saw these little ladies walking with these things and they had these shoes on, and the sales guy, kid, goes like, oh, you want the Nordic walking sticks? I go, I do. Okay, I guess I do. He goes, well, in order to be effective, you have to wear running shoes. I go, I have to wear what? He goes, you have to wear running shoes. I go, oh, come off it. I mean, I'm a little old lady. I can barely crawl. What do you want me to put running shoes on? I'm fine with flip-flop slippers, barefoot, whatever. He goes, try these shoes on. I go, oh, okay, you don't have to get upset about it. Okay, I put the shoes on. But I can't bend over to put the shoes on. Oh, no problem, dear. We'll help you. I go, wonderful. Now they're going to dress me up in the middle of the store. Thrilled. Well, that's when I got my first pair of Nikes. He put the shoes on and he goes, now we're going to adjust these sticks to the proper height, to your height. I go, okay, but first we're going to put little footsies on the sticks. I go, oh, you're going to put what, where? He goes, we're going to put these little footsies on the sticks. I go, oh, the kid needs a vacation. So he put these little footsies on the bottom of the stick. Okay, you got this picture? And I'm standing there in my running shoes with two sticks, looking totally ridiculous. He says, now this is what I want you to do. Take steps the way I tell you to. Okay? I'm like, okay, now this kid is going to teach me how to walk. He goes, just do what I tell you. I thought to myself, I have never done anything anyone told me in my whole life. Okay. So he goes, put out the stick with your right hand and take the step with your left foot, like an X, like the letter X. And I'm like, okay. Well, folks, I stood up. And the feeling in my feet from those shoes was absolutely heaven. Because by that time walking there, I thought I couldn't walk back home, so I would have to call a taxi. Well, let me tell you, I didn't have to call any taxi. I took my two little, sticks with the little footsies on them. And I walked home. And I was amazed what a pair of shoes and two sticks can do. It certainly did teach me a lesson. When you have a problem, Go to a professional that knows what they are doing. These guys at the sports center are trained to know what they are doing because they want you to be a happy customer, so you will go back. This is not inexpensive equipment, but let me tell you, it's worth every penny. I got my ability to walk back, and only those of us that have been limited for some reason understand what that means when you gain some of your lost abilities back. And all it took is this very simple equipment and time. And just do it every day. There was times when I didn't feel like going out to walk. But I knew that I had to, or I will lose what I've been working for all that time. So I told you, I just found some good music and went out. And before I knew it, I have already done my 3 kilometers. And my mood certainly changed back to being more positive than it was before. And after a while, I got so used to it that when I couldn't go out because the weather was so bad or something, I actually missed my daily workout. So I started to understand why people go to the gym or whatever every day, besides for the fact that they want to look fantastic. Well, I wasn't worried about looking fantastic. I was more worried about being, put into a wheelchair because I was beginning to get very limited as to my ability to move. And when I told other ladies how I did it, that knew me in the village, and they saw me with these strange looking sticks when I went back to the village, and Nike's, running shoes on my feet, and they were all laughing like, what do you think you're doing? You think you're 16 years old? I go, look, try it. And maybe you can even throw away your walker. So after that, we established a Nordic walking club in the village. And the family doctor at first was very surprised when she saw, I think there was about 3 of us. We were walking out to the fishing hole pond. The river Raba creates like a pond, and they stocked it with fish. And people go there to fish. And there's a little, like a little forest, trees. A beautiful little place. Picnicking, fishing. They have little resting benches, picnic tables, what have you. So this is what we put as our goal for walking, and we had to go across the highway to go across to this area. And the doctor was driving by. I guess she was making her afternoon house calls. And she saw us and she started smiling, beeping her horn. We're all walking, we're holding on to our water bottles and panting and turning all red and all of those wonderful things that you do. And she congratulated us. And after a while, other ladies joined. And then there was an association because the Nordic sticks were rather expensive. They donated a whole bunch of them. So more ladies or gentlemen, but the gentlemen were away working somewhere. So it was mostly us ladies. We can do our walking with. So whoever wanted to join us, we gave them a stick to try out. adjusted it to their height, and they all fell in love with it. But I kept on telling them, you need the proper shoes to support your feet. Believe me, it is something that must be, it's something that you cannot, go, well, it's too expensive. Rather, you have one pair of good fitting shoes than 10 bad fitting shoes that are bad for your feet, for your posture, and everything else. Well, nobody would donate shoes, but anyway, the donation of the walking sticks was a big enough plus for our little group. And those ladies that stuck with the program did see, all of them saw improvement. It's a slow improvement. You have to keep it up. I mean, like I and a doctor used to say, we did not get in that bad condition from one day to the next, unless you have an accident or some other, I'm talking about normal wear and tear of your body, you got to that point over long, long, long years. So don't be surprised if it takes a long time and effort. And the main thing is, no matter how little you can do, just keep moving. Even if it's from one bench to the other. That's my experience as far as walking is concerned. Let's see what we can do here. On the bottom, it's white. I am rather perturbed because I don't see that on the thumbnail. But we're gonna do it. Actually, if I go from left to right, I can fit these rows much better. This was my experience. I'm at the edge of the canvas, and then what we have to do is turn it over. This is the bottom, and then we have to go to the top of the canvas. So this is the bottom where the basket is, and the flowers are in this basket. Okay. I would be very happy if my 4-placer would pick up 4 drills. I mean, this is why it's called a 4-placer. Okay, let me straighten out these guys. They thought they could land anywhere they want to. Well, they can't. You have to follow the rules. This is Hungary. Here, everybody follows the rules. Actually not, but I thought it was nice to say. Okay, we're doing a little bit of multiplacing. Gives our nerves a little bit of rest. And actually what I need is more natural lighting to get to the dark ones, but I will work on it with the magnifying glass. Because I really want to be able to turn over the canvas already. This is taking way more time than I would normally spend on a section of the diamond painting. But at least it's coming along. I had my doubts. And while I'm doing this, I am not going to start another canvas for the very simple reason that my eyes got used to these symbols and what have you. And I found it easier to work if I concentrate on this particular canvas right now. And if I see it getting a little better, then we have a canvas that needs ironing and that needs to be kit up. It's a cutest little gnome. Yes, I love gnomes. And he's holding up his finger. I guess it's a peace sign. And he says, "Let it be." And that's exactly what I feel like doing, is holding up my finger. I'm not saying which one. And saying, "Let it be." I can see you rolling on the floor again. I don't know, with my sarcastic monologues, maybe I can be a comedian. I'm telling you, if I would not have a touch of sarcasm and a sense of humor, I don't think I would have survived in Hungary. Seriously. What do you think? Yes, I am Hungarian. I was born here, but I was not raised here. So I did have a bit of a cultural shock when I returned, even though my first husband was Hungarian also. But he was from the other part of the country, near the other river, the Tisza. That's the one that used to have floods, because his family home was washed away by one of the floods, because when we went to visit, his brother said that they had to rebuild the house. Well, by that time his parents had passed away. They had to rebuild the house because the floods washed it away. I was surprised because I thought with all the dams and everything else that they had, in Hungary we have a lot of unruly rivers. I thought they had it under control. I guess at that time it was not under control yet. The Danube is under control, but still it does a bit of flooding. Every year there's flooding. I know, I mean, they know there's going to be flood. I don't know why they don't fix it. And of course, removing the trees that hold the soil and all of that is not a good idea, because Mother Nature will get back at you. That's what it seems like is happening. Really need the vegetation to hold to hold back the soil. Hungary has excellent soil as far as agriculture is concerned. But, you know, if the floods wash it away, then they don't plant in the flood area because they figure the water is going to wash it away. But that's where the good soil is. They do have it pretty well regulated. There are some smaller rivers that I never even heard about, but they exist. And I guess they don't pay that much attention to it because the only time they pay attention to it is when it starts going over its banks, and then it's, you know, major news story. But I mean, if you hear it every year that it's flooding again, you kind of wonder, you know, what are those engineers doing? Why aren't they fixing it? Maybe they can't fix it. I don't know. I don't know about such things. Now, the lake where I was born has a canal called the Sheol. This is why the city is called Sheolfolk. And they open or they close the gate, the dam on the canal, to regulate the water level in the lake. We don't have an ocean. That is called the Hungarian Ocean. We have one big lake. Well, there's a factory over here close to us. If you go on a boat ride, you need to take, before you had to take your passport, because when you're in the boat, not even halfway across, you are in this lake, and half of you is in Austria already. It's on the border. So half of the lake is Hungary and half is Austria already. So we're in a different country already. Well, now, of course, we don't need a passport for the European Union unless we're going to have this vaccine passport. Whatever. So many new ideas come on the news every day that sometimes you wonder which is actually true and which is just a thought in somebody's mind. Or which is some of the reporters are bored. Well, if they don't have this little problem to talk about, I don't know what they're going to talk about. I mean, the weather is nice. This little problem is going away with the poke in the arm. What are they going to talk about? They might have to talk about real news. Wouldn't that be odd? A news reporter talking about news. Definitely would be different. Unless they make up another, you know, sensation to get views. Yes, folks, news stations do sometimes make up sensational news just to up their view ratings. I mean, they live by the advertisers also. So they have to get ratings. we got quite a bit of done on this canvas. And it looks like the weight of the drills is pushing back down whatever little bubbling it did. I have no idea why it did that. It just felt like it, you know. I guess the canvas can have a hissy fit also, I presume. Now, that's not nice. I just said we're going along so well. Okay, let me straighten these out. I thank you very much for spending time with me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. And if you did so already, I thank you very much. Bye for now. See you tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.